TFM. We've been friends for a long time. I'm told you made a response video to the concerns voiced in my most recent video. So with that in mind, I won't be watching it because I know that you made this video without having all the verifiable facts in front of you. So at best, your response will be made out of prejudgment, emotion, and ignorance, rather than full knowledge of the relevant facts surrounding my concerns. I know I hurt you. I hope this video will rectify that and provide you with the rest of the information that I feel you need to make an informed decision regarding our friendship. But before I get started, I want you to know that I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for pointing out the truth to you. As my friend, you deserve to hear it. I'm sorry that the truth hurt you so deeply, but you should know this. I meant everything I said in my video, but nothing I said was an attack. It was one friend gut-checking another. I was told you didn't watch my previous video to the end. I hope you have by now. At the end, I talked about how in this issue, you are Theoden from Lord of the Rings, and you have a Grima Wormtongue in your midst. Please think about this while watching this video, and by the end, my reasoning will be made clear. Now, I have reviewed many of the comments, and many who criticized me mistakenly thought I was strawmanning and that I was upset. And while the former is inaccurate, the latter is true. Anyone who targets TFM pisses me off because I'm his friend. But what's funny is that everyone thinks that the information I provided in my last video was all the information I had. Anyone who knows me or who watched me take down the Red Pill coin scam should know better. And this video will call out the guilty with verifiable facts and observable reality. This video presents additional information to support my positions, but it still won't be all the information I have. Further, I took a lot of criticism from viewers for not doing this in private. I said this in my last video, and I'll say it again. I tried in private and was ignored. But more importantly, TFM wasn't listening to me. Now, I know from experience, TFM has many loyal fans who care about him and want to protect him. I hoped by sharing these things publicly that even if TFM rejected me, the rest of the community would rise up and protect him. Even if I had to be the bad guy to do so, it was a sacrifice I willingly made. For those who don't know, most of everything in my last video was already public knowledge in some form or another. Now, the other reason I'm doing this in public is so that TFM will hear the truth, no matter how much it hurts. Because as his friend, I believe he deserves to hear it. Because many in his inner circle are acting in ways that are harmful to him and his MGTOW teachings. In addition, these people are predators and a bane to the MGTOW community, and everyone should be warned about them. Now, I should also say this. I don't have a problem with TFM having a relationship with Celestina in and of itself. My problem is this. TFM's relationship with Celestina, when combined with his extreme isolation and the fact that he has enemies in his inner circle spitting poison in his ear, together are a problem. It's my view that these three things combined are the cause of the problems I've identified in my previous video, not TFM per se. And by the end of this video, you will see exactly why I always say, trust but verify. Now, before we get started, let's get something out of the way. Raging Golden Eagle and others disagreed with my position on Lolly. They cited a Supreme Court case from 2002 to support their position. Here's the problem. People with no legal training and experience are talking about things they don't entirely understand. Let me demonstrate. This is the case they're referring to. In 2002, the United States Supreme Court ruled in Ashcroft versus the Free Speech Coalition that the CCPA was facially invalid in prohibiting virtual or cartoon child pornography. Now, in addition, in response to Ashcroft versus Free Speech Coalition, Congress passed the PROTECT Act of 2003, also dubbed the Amber Alert Law. It was signed into law on April 30th, 2003. The PROTECT Act also enacted 18 U.S.C. 1466A, which criminalizes material that has a visual depiction of any kind, including a drawing, cartoon, sculpture, or painting that depicts a minor engaged in explicit conduct that is obscene, depicts an image that is or appears to be of a minor engaging in inappropriate acts. And yes, I did censor myself there. And lacks serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. In the Dwight Worley case, a conviction was upheld on appeal to the Fourth Circuit. The court noted that the minors depicted in the obscene material need not exist. The Supreme Court refused to review that case. Now, I will say this. Now that we have the facts straight, parts of the new PROTECT Act have been ruled unconstitutional at the federal level, but not all of them. And many states are enacting laws based on the PROTECT Act that are worded in such a way as to withstand constitutional challenge. So let me be clear. Even though parts of the law have been ruled unconstitutional at the federal level, people having this material can still be charged with a state crime. Now, with that said, let me say this. Damn, it is a sad day when respected content creators and others are virtue signaling in favor of inappropriate images of children depicted in adult situations. Think about how disgusting that is, and who's defending this material. And then take all the time you need. And let's move on. Now, let's talk about verifiable facts and relevant history. In April 2017, TFM made a response video to a guy named Zephanorian, otherwise known as Zeph. Zeph was a YouTuber and a doxer that created videos targeting the MGTOW community. Now, Zeph was accused of doxing Red Pill Ghost, who was a MGTOW YouTuber. Now, let's fast forward to a few days before I did my Kraut live stream, where I exonerated Kraut of doxing and outlined the witch hunt against him. Now, this Kraut live stream occurred in late January 2018. Now, right before I did that stream, but after it was announced, I had a conversation with Kat by voice call. As you can see on 1/26/2018, I started a voice call with Feeding the Cat. Now, as you can see, based on this screenshot, Feeding the Cat had access to Kraut's task force server because Zeph was the owner of it. In fact, even though it's kind of messed up here, right here, you see where I'm putting right here, it says past ownership to Zeph. This shows that Zeph owned it, okay? Now, you can see based on this, on the down low, Kat was close friends with Zeph, a known enemy of the MGTOW community. And Kat admitted as much during our Discord call, and he showed me images proving that not only did Zeph own the server, but he gave the logs to Kat. That's what this demonstrates right here. Now then, he provided me screenshots of conversations between he and Zeph, proving that Kraut's server, the server that I was on, was not a doxing server. Here's the first conversation he posted. Okay? And at the bottom of it, it talks about this right here. It says, let me see if I can find it. It says, basically, the task force server was never a doxing server, as Kraut did that in private calls, or at least that's what he believed, okay? And again, you can see Kat asks Zeph for the audit logs. Zeph says, I'm at work. Kat says, no problem, you know, and then they're talking about this right now. And then he admits that Kraut handed the server rights over to Zeph. Now, this screenshot, they're talking about how Zeph apparently is some kind of private investigator or something, but they're kind of talking about his current life outside of the internet. So you could see that Kat's relationship with Zeph actually included a lot of personal information. Zeph would only have shared that with someone he trusted. Now, again, like I said, if you pause the video and you review the screenshots, you will see that Kat and Zeph were talking about other things as well. They were friends. Now, from what I can determine, no one, not even TFM, knew that Kat was friends with an enemy of the MGTOW community, an enemy that TFM actually did a response video to. Now, after the Kraut stream happened and I used these screenshots to exonerate Kraut, Kat reached out to me. He was upset that I used the exonerating evidence he provided in my stream, like I wasn't going to clear my name. Here's that message he sent to me. The next time, if you're going to feature private messages in your vids I give to you in confidence, I would appreciate it if you actually asked me, or you could just ask Zeph yourself. Now that we're up to January 2018, let's move forward to August 2018. The reason is because August was the month that Iron Man and Broccoli made their doxing audio, Doxing Plumber. Now, shortly after I received a copy of the audio from Broccoli, I reached out to both TFM and Kat in private. And this is a screenshot of the message I sent to TFM. FYI, I spoke to Kat, and by the way, this is August 22nd, 2018. FYI, I spoke to Kat between last we spoke and when I finally got a hold of Kat. Broccoli sent me a recording he and Iron Man made where they dox Plumber. I am banning them from my server, FYI. And then I include a screenshot of the message he sent me and the link. And then I say, hey man, scheduling got away from me this week. I won't be able to do the show tomorrow, FYI. I'll be there Saturday though. And TFM responds, all right, no worries. Now, after the tape was made, and around the same time period that I reached out to Feeding the Cat and TFM, Iron Man and I discussed this as well. Here's clips of that discussion. I do apologize for the inconvenience of this message, but I do believe it's time for me to speak out on this subject. This is Iron Man. I am very uneasy about how I am being involved in this drama. If I was involved at any point, I so apologize. I was unaware of any implications or trespasses that accrued over the past weeks with my involvement. With that said, I also believe Broccoli needs to go. I was instantly inquired by Broccoli and one of his quote-unquote recruits minutes after I got home from work today. Subject matter being obvious. I have tried to remain neutral as I particularly like some of the people involved, and I do not wish to terminate any relationships I have made here on Discord. But I am forced into making yet another choice I am not happy with making. I am going to withdraw from Discord entirely to protect myself and Plumber. I will keep my account, but just delete the app and not log in anymore. I am still very much interested in an intentional community, and I hope to show my value in the coming weeks. Hopefully, we will get the opportunity to meet one another in time. I'm so sorry you are involved in this, as are others whom don't need this crap. If you need anything, you know where Plumber and I are. Then he goes on to state later on, I think this was the next day, he states, sorry, I'm at work. I'll be spotty all day. You needed to hear the raw conversation, so there was no question as to what was said and why. You need to be aware of the situation. I chose Broccoli for a reason. I sent him a PM last night telling him to download a recorder and record our conversation and send it to you. Plumber is in danger. I trust you will find a way. I gave you all the information you need to solve this problem if you want this community to thrive. Chase out the rats, DDJ. You are the only one who can. And unknown to me at the time, someone else was also provided with a copy of the doxing tape created by Iron Man and Broccoli and confronted Broccoli about it. I recently received this screenshot. Plus, why were you planning to sue Plumber for? Broccoli, I get that, but you left my server and kicked me out of yours. I'm still moving forward on my end, and you're still welcome. I wasn't planning to sue Plumber. Wow. Anonymous. There's a 40-minute recording that says otherwise, man. Broccoli. Did you hear the recording? Anonymous. Bits and pieces. But enough to know that this BS needs to stop, man. Broccoli. Well, the context in which Iron Man and I were speaking of involved Plumber getting sued by someone else, not us. Now, a month later in September 2018, after both Kat and TFM ignored my concerns that Broccoli and Iron Man were doxers, Kat sent this message to TFM via Discord. He recently published it in the public Discord. TFM, I need to remove DDJ from all the mod channels. I'm making it happen now. Now, this was on September 13th, 2018, almost 20 days after I notified TFM about Broccoli and Iron Man doxing. I'm tired of his bullshit. If he pipes up, send him to me. Also, don't tell him. Just send him my way. This is Kat's Grima Wormtongue moment, telling TFM what to do. And TFM listened. A couple days later, after I banned a user named Sayomi, I realized my mod privileges were revoked. I asked TFM about it. Now, we were actually talking about hockey mask time, so we were kind of joking, and I said, we'll get you a horse so you can go hockey masking Planet of the Apes style. By the way, why did I lose my mod privileges? Was it because I rebanned Sayomi after someone unbanned her? She was one of the people who falsely accused us of being pedos by being sponsored by the Dollhouse. Now, that was a big drama. You can look at all the videos associated with this. It was BS, and we were able to debunk it. Now, TFM responds with, Kat revoked your mod powers because you unbanned Xiaomi. Since Kat can see the future and is always right, I trust his judgment. Unfortunately, it's very clear that this pussycat is TFM's gynocentric blind spot. But we're going to go into that in just a moment. I mean, obviously, Kat being friends with a known enemy of MGTOW and someone who hates MGTOW content creators like TFM, someone who TFM made a MGTOW response video for. I don't think that TFM ever knew Kat was friends with Zeph, but moving on. Okay, I don't remember unbanning her, but okay, I guess. I was the one who rebanned her. You do know that this is the guy who was friends with Zeph on the down low, right? I even asked him to check the logs to see who unbanned her in the discipline log chat and never got a response. No worries, though. I guess I have the response now. Thank you for letting me know. I wish Kat wasn't so passive-aggressive, read, bitch, about it and was a man enough to tell me himself. He never did, by the way. But I guess that's a bridge too far. And TFM says, I think you still have all your other powers, just not the mod powers anymore. Now, what troubles me even more is that the following screenshots I'm about to show you were from last night. They were reports from what was happening in the Patron Pit voice channel in TFM's Discord server, and I believe the Mosh Pit. Here's the first one. Dr. Weird says they are following paper trails on you, something involving money laundering. Kat has them trying to pull counterintelligence on you. This was just said in the Patron Pit. TFM does keep saying he feels the same about this as he did after his girlfriend cheated on his ass. TFM just played his hand. He says that loyalty is the most important thing to him. By saying that, I know it motivates him. I know how to fix this. I have to get to the Kat. Dr. Weird keeps saying shit about paper trails leading to blank. I don't know what the fuck he is on about, but I have to deal with that issue first. I'm not going to let them fabricate shit to go against you because Kat thinks it's a good idea. Now, it looks like, based on this, that they're trying to collect my docs in retaliation of calling out TFM's mod, a confirmed doxer, Broccoli. You see, Dr. Weird is a Broccoli recruit. Broccoli's been recruiting TFM's patrons for months, which is confirmed by Iron Man in the previous image that I showed earlier. Then finally, Kat admits that he's had it out for me for a long time. Kat just admitted that he was trying to get rid of you for a long time because he thought you were out to destroy TFM. And my response is, yep, you know that you just confirmed my Grima Wormtongue statement, right? And this person responds with, yep. So as you can see in this situation, TFM is Theoden, and feeding the Kat is his Grima Wormtongue. And for at least a year, when Kat was upset that I used his evidence to clear my name, evidence he obtained by virtue of his close friendship with a known enemy of the MGTOW community, he has been out to retaliate against me. And now he's admitted it. Even worse, TFM's got doxers as patrons, and they were using his Discord server to coordinate a plan to dox me in retaliation for calling out TFM's enemies in his inner circle. As you can see, TFM's Discord, Monkey Business, is completely compromised by doxers, and the people who support them are enemies of MGTOW. As you know, TFM has always said that married men have a gynocentric blind spot, and that they are unable to see when their wife is cheating on them until it's too late. TFM's dishonest wife in this story is feeding the Kat. Either feeding the Kat is TFM's cheating wife, or feeding the Kat is that married man's best friend committing adultery with his wife, while both the wife and the best friend pretend to be loyal. And TFM is too trusting to see Kat for the dishonest manipulator that he truly is. You see, TFM, you say you value loyalty above everything, as you should. So I want you to think about the following questions. Between Kat and I, who did you have to pay money to help out on your TFM show? How many times did Kat disappear in the middle of the TFM show where we had to scramble to cover for him? How many times did Feeding the Kat fail to book guests for the show? How many times did potential guests complain about Feeding the Cat's inability to set them up properly for the show? How many times did Feeding the Cat just completely fail to show up for the show without any notice whatsoever? And while it's been clear that Feeding the Cat has been whispering in your ear lies and poison about me for over a year, how many other times did Cat lie to you? And what else do you think he's lied to you about? You see, here's the thing. TFM and I have always said, there are people in the MGTOW community who are MGTOW in name only. Cat and Broccoli are perfect examples of this. Not only is Broccoli a doxer, Cat was friends with a doxer and was inspiring others in TFM's Patron Pit Discord channel to collect my docs. This is blue pill cuck behavior. It's bitch thinking. And my guess, TFM, you didn't know any of it because you blindly trust Cat. That teabagged pussy cat is your gynocentric blind spot. This is why I always say, trust but verify. You see, I value loyalty as well. But loyalty isn't just about how long you've known someone. My nearly 2-decade failed marriage taught me that. Loyalty is based on conduct, continuous and consistent conduct. It's not based on time. This is why so many wives in long-term marriages are able to successfully cheat on their husbands. They rely on that blind trust, that gynocentric blind spot. TFM, if you think about this, you know this to be true. You've said it yourself many times. Now, I do have another admission to make. TFM, I didn't do my prior video to voice my concerns about you alone. I used you and my knowledge of you and our close friendship to get you to spurg out, because I was hoping your enemies, our enemies, enemies of the MGTOW community, would overplay their hand and expose themselves. And I was not disappointed. They did, in spades. Now I know you're upset with me, and at some level, I deserve it. But I'm an asshole and a hard man. You knew this when you met me. And I'm sorry again for hurting you. If that means you're no longer my friend, I accept that. But know this. I made these 2 videos out of loyal friendship, not malice, because your enemies are my enemies. And I hope you use this information to protect yourself and to rid yourself of the betrayers in your inner circle, to clean out your Discord and your Patreon, and return to being the man you once were, even if it means our friendship is over.